What's going on, guys? This is Mr. DeLorean here. Welcome to today's brand new video. And today what I want to do is talk about and break down the trailer we got for Chucky Season 1, Episode 5, Little Lies. Now, the trailer begins with Chucky being thrown down a garbage chute into a dumpster by Lexy's dad, most likely because Chucky's face is practically burnt off or because of half his face is basically burnt off. And obviously, Lexy's little sister, Caroline, probably won't want a doll where like half the face is practically burnt the fuck off. I mean, what little kid wants to look at this shit? This is scary as fuck. Although Chucky's doll with like, his face half burnt off really took me back to Child's Play 1 and was really cool, and like, the first genuine fear I felt of Chucky. It was really cool to see a new design of Chucky in like, the Chucky series so far, and was just terrifying to see, and was really cool and really great special effects. But what's very weird is you get to see Devon and Jake on their bicycles riding around Hackensack, and what's very weird is Jake does mention, "We did it, Chucky is gone," which is a very weird phrase to say, since by the end of episode 5 or by the end of episode 4, Chucky was very much alive, and actually it was pretty much still kicking and killing. I want to get that on the back of his shirt, actually, kicking and killing with Chucky or something. But it's very weird that he says, "We did it, we beat Chucky," or that's that's it, Chucky's gone. Now, he can't be saying this because Lexy's dad threw him down a garbage chute, so I do wonder what Devon, Lexy, and Jake will do in episode 5, or at least the beginning of episode 5, to get to this point where they think that they're safe from Chucky. Because obviously, yeah, like I said, Chucky's face is burnt off, but that does not mean he's not down and not kicking and killing still. So I do wonder if episode 5, before this point, they will do something to get rid of Chucky, which obviously won't work out too well, since obviously he does come back in the episode. So I do wonder if this takes place after maybe Caroline's dad or like, Lexy's dad throws him away, and then maybe they go inside it and like, kick at Chucky's ass or something, or tries to kill him. But it's because they can't be stupid enough to think that just because they threw him down a garbage chute then that's when he's gone and not gonna come back, which does seem like what's gonna happen, weirdly enough, is that, they're not gonna try to actually kill him, but they're just gonna throw him down a garbage chute and be okay with it. Because when Chucky is getting thrown down this garbage chute, he looks no different than when he did when he was like, burnt alive inside the hospital. And when you get to see Devon and Lexy high-fiving, what I can only assume is in front of like, Devon, Jake, or maybe Lexy's house, or maybe it's like, after bringing Jake home or anything, and then they're gonna go out, or not necessarily go out or anything, but they're now all friends maybe. Which, I'm not gonna lie, episode 4 did kind of make me like Lexy. I know I'm gonna be like, butchered in the comments for saying that. Hold on for a second, let me explain. But they actually did a good job with having Jake and Lexy like, work together and everything, and have them show emotion for Lexy. Because I will be perfectly honest, Lexy was a bit of an asshole in the like, the first like, half of the episode, and I was like, yeah, fuck this girl. But then they actually made me like her, like, in the second half of the episode, and actually made me go, wow, I actually want to see these two characters work together. So I can only assume this is like, Lexy and Devon after like, maybe bringing Jake home or anything, and then they're gonna both go home, and like, they're all walking home together after maybe defeating Chucky, or what they thought was defeating Chucky, which obviously they have no clue what's in store for them, because Lexy and Caroline's dad gives Caroline a little present, and this little present happens to be Tommy. Now, if you don't know who Tommy is, basically it was a good guy doll that was given to Andy when he was given to his new adopted family, basically like, one of the toys inside the house of his like, new adopted family. It was basically a good guy doll that like, made Andy really paranoid that like, was like, Chucky, but it was basically just a normal good guy doll that was named like, Tommy. And this is a really cool callback to Child's Play 2, and something that like, I was really like, brighten my smile about this trailer and for this episode. But what's very interesting about Tommy, and why I think like, Chucky is not done with our characters, which obviously he isn't, it's only episode 5, because in Child's Play 2, basically what Chucky did was he hid Tommy, and basically I guess you'd say killed Tommy, if you count like, bashing in his face 100 times killing.
Dirt, Tommy.
And basically takes over like, Tommy's place inside the house, and basically makes everyone think that, oh, this is just Tommy, when really it's Chucky. And he basically makes himself an inside spy. But obviously Chucky doesn't really look like a normal good guy doll anymore, as he did in Child's Play 1 to Child's Play 2. So obviously he's not going to be fooling anyone. So I do honestly feel that he could possibly transfer his soul into Tommy, which does make sense, because like I said, no one's going to be really fooled by seeing this like, burnt to fuck crisp and everything good guy doll and everything, especially after Lexy's dad basically throws him away down garbage chute. And obviously Lexy is not at all happy with the fact, telling by this trailer and everything, that obviously like, Caroline's getting a new good guy doll that's named Tommy, and obviously like Andy, she's pretty much paranoid by having a new good guy doll in the house. But obviously Child's Play 2 callbacks are not the only past thing coming back in this trailer for episode 5, because in this trailer is revealed that Tiffany and Nica will be making their first official reappearances in Chucky season 1 episode 6, or I'm sorry, episode 5, which was really cool to see them back officially in this trailer, and that they'll be making their first official appearance in like, the show and everything in episode 5, which I really can't wait for. And what I could tell from this trailer and everything, after Nica and like, Tiffany get done with some business, I don't know why I said it like that, but after they get done with some business and everything, basically Tiffany looks over to what I can only assume is a couch or like, a table or maybe like, a chair, and basically says, did you enjoy the show? Now, obviously she'll be speaking to a multitude of people, but I do feel that the main two people that she can be talking to is either Chucky, which obviously would make sense for Chucky to maybe go back to Tiffany and everything, and back to Nica to maybe have them help him get a new body and everything, or maybe get a new like, doll, and maybe even Tiffany and Nica are the ones that send Tommy to obviously Lexy's house, maybe, or maybe that like, Tiffany is speaking to the bride or like, bride version of Tiffany or anything, or the doll version of Tiffany, which would be really, really cool to see that doll officially return. And like, because I don't think we've seen that doll since Seed of Chucky, I think, so it would be really cool to see that doll officially return in this series. And I think I can see Tiffany's like, bride doll officially return. And those are the only two people I could see, or the only two like, things that I could see Tiffany talking to in the scene, is either Chucky and everything, or like, the bride or doll version of Tiffany. Also, we can see Chucky, who's practically burnt to a crisp and everything, as mentioned before, like, after what the events of episode 3, is looking in a window, like, basically clawing on the window, which he does look fucking scary as shit and everything, with his face like melted, but he's basically clawing on a window during a rainstorm. There are two people who I do think how this house is, which is obviously either Lexy's and everything, and that he'll do the whole like, Tommy replacement thing that I did with like, Child's Play 2. Maybe he'll transfer his soul, like I mentioned before, into Tommy's doll, which would be really cool and make sense. Or maybe he's returning and going back to Tiffany's house, or he's going to Tiffany's house and anything to like, reintroduce himself. Because in the season 2 or season trail, like, 1 or official series trailer for Chucky, Tiffany does basically say to what I can only assume is Chucky, or maybe someone else, basically long time no see, so she can be talking to Chucky. But back with Lexy, Jake, and Devon, we basically get to see them getting up from their chairs, and what I can only assume is the school auditorium and everything, and basically looking really stunned and absolutely terrified, which is most likely them after they realize, hey, yeah, Chucky is not in fact done with us. And this was shown in some Chucky behind the scenes material and everything, which was basically like, Jake, Lexy, and Devon, and this one other woman, and maybe some other people inside an auditorium, which like I said, I can only assume it's the school's auditorium, and basically them all looking surprised, and even the woman crying. So I do assume like, Chucky, Tiffany, or someone will be doing something really fucked up on stage, and maybe this will be during like, the final fight with Chucky and everything, or the supposed final fight with Chucky, and then this is what makes Jake and like all them say like, oh, we finally like, Chucky's gone finally. And maybe this will take place before like, Lexy's dad throws him out of the garbage chute, or maybe after, when like, their final battle with Chucky. But yet again, final battle in really big quotes. But I do wonder what's going on in this scene that makes everyone go like, what the fuck and everything, and why they're all in possibly the school auditorium and everything. What's making that one woman cry in the behind the scenes material. But by the end of the trailer, we basically get Chucky walking into Caroline's room and everything, seeing Tommy and everything. Obviously a huge like, reunition, or kind of like, reunion for the two characters. And obviously this isn't the same Tommy doll or anything, but it's really cool to see Tommy, that name of a good guy doll, and this what will mostly be taking place in episode 5, which is obviously Chucky most likely replacing like, himself, like, for Tommy. But as I mentioned before and everything, obviously like, no one's gonna be fooled by this, since obviously Chucky looks burnt to shit. So I'm only assuming that Chucky will take like, Tommy and everything, and transfer his soul into Tommy, which will be really cool to see like, the ritual also finally take place after so long. His whole like, give me the power, I beg of you ritual and everything, and him transferring his soul into like, Tommy's doll. But what's also very interesting about this episode 5, is that the bio for this episode does read out, Jake and Devon progress their relationship, enemies and allies from Chucky's past show up. Which obviously the allies from Chucky's past life is obviously Tiffany, Nica, and maybe the bride or doll version of Tiffany. But it is interesting how it also says enemies. So I do wonder if this will be the first appearance of like, Kyle and Andy. And since they aren't shown in the trailer, I do feel that maybe there'll be like an end credit scene, or a post end credit scene or anything, or maybe show up at the last second of the episode, which would be really cool as a way for them to maybe help like, Lexy, Devon, and Jake out. This episode seems to be chock full of tons of stuff that I'm really excited for, such as like, the thing or the Easteregg back from Child's Play 2 with like, Tommy and Chucky, and obviously Chucky most likely switching places with Tommy, or possibly even being like, taking a new turn with things and transferring his soul into Tommy, which would be a really cool aspect, and to finally get Chucky into a new body and see him like, back to normal after his like, scary as fuck burnt to a crisp phase. And also seeing Tiffany and Nica, and maybe like, the bride or doll version of Tiffany back and everything, is really, really cool. And like, to finally see like, some allies from Chucky's past back. And I guess we'll have to see if we do see some of Chucky's like, enemies coming back, which will be really cool. people, such as Andy or Kyle, but like I said, I'm pretty sure they're going to save that for the end of the episode to go on to episode 6. And also to see the interesting fact of, like, you know, Lexy, Devon, and Jake finally saying, like, you know, oh, Chucky's gone and everything. I do wonder what's going to happen with that and what's going to happen in the school's auditorium, and basically what's going to happen with them and what's going to convince them that, yeah, Chucky is really gone. Will there be a huge fight and anything that will take place in the auditorium during the night and everything? Then that's what will make them comforting, saying, like, you know, Chucky's officially gone, and maybe, like, you know, them saying Chucky's gone will take place in the end of the episode after the auditorium fight or what happens in there. I'm not sure, but make sure to comment down below if I did miss anything in this trailer. If you guys do have any theories for this episode, maybe there's something that I did miss or anything, make sure to comment that all down below. And also make sure to comment down below if you guys are most excited to see in this episode. Is it Tiffany and Nica, maybe the doll version or bride version of Tiffany? Is it the big and final or possible final battle between Lexy, Devon, and Jake? And yes, make sure to comment down below what you guys are most excited to see in general for the episode. But yeah, that has been all from me and everything. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more with Chucky and everything, more breakdowns, theories, and possibly a review, which I do want to start getting into making reviews on the you know, series and the episodes. But yes, you guys, leave my amigos, and peace out.